score, they score. They tie the game up 2-2.
Some drives out for Robbie Ryan. Her three right on the money. This is Taya Hansen for three. Other side of the rim with a pretty reverse.
Wow. 5 seconds to go.
Find Hawk. Hawk spins. It rolls off. And Arizona State wins it.
Edwards pulls off and buries the puck.
Daniels takes the shot for Kirby.
Welcome into Monday's edition of Pitchfork Lunch. Yes, I am Michael Caratanudo at Diablo00 on X, the artist formerly known as Twitter. Yes, you got it right. Happy Monday. It is Super Bowl week. Both teams are in Vegas, getting ready to go. The Niners are already unhappy with soft field conditions at UNLV, where they are practicing. Yes, so very interesting. But Brandon Ayuk forks up, Sun Devil there. We know it. We love it. Forks up to Brandon Ayuk. Again, has had a hell of a season, hell of a career so far, representing, well, the Niners, but yes, the Sun Devils in the Super Bowl. In the Super Bowl. So that being said, very glad you could join me here on Pitchfork Lunch. Again, you can check me out at Diablo00, like I said, on X, artist formerly known as Twitter, on the IG, Michael.Cartoon.5, and Pitchfork Lunchers. Yes, spread the news. Keep spreading it. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's at M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Cat 005, at MVC005 on YouTube. Subscribe. You have missed a ton of phenomenal interviews. Just talked to, again, 1,000-point career scorer, over 1,000 points now. Jaden Simmons was on with us Friday. We'll talk about the back and forth rivalry game that was yesterday with that school down south, Territorial Cup points going to, unfortunately, that school down south. But man, what a game! Again, back and forth, and unfortunately, I have to give props to a great crowd out there at McHale Center. Over 8,200 fans in attendance. So that part is not a bummer whatsoever at all. But yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to men's hoops, obviously, against Cal on Saturday. Obviously, a tough loss Thursday against Stanford. And then Saturday, Cal well, they shot 50% from the three-point line. I don't know what it is about going into DFA for some visiting teams this season and shooting lights out from three. Now, you can say, yeah, Michael, everybody shoots threes. No, but to shoot it at a clip, again, on the women's side, Arizona shot, when they were up here in December, shot literally almost 60% from the three-point line, 50-some-odd percent from the three-point line, right? Insane. Cal shoots 50% from the three-point line, which obviously, as you all know, in this day and age, insane. So the first half, a little flat for the Devils. Don't know where so much that came from, but, you know, lingering maybe on the Stanford loss. I don't know. But you can't come out that flat against a team, again, in Cal, who obviously just took a beating on Thursday against that team down south. So that being said, look, it was a flat first half, and then in the second half, it was better. I mean, the energy, it was better. But again, Cal being 50% from the three-point line, and then the Devils, again, struggling a little bit from the free throw line. That made it tough on Saturday for the Devils. But then Saturday evening, hello, hockey. Yeah, 5-1 win. Gibson Homer between the pipes had one hell of a game. Yes, the offense put up 5 goals against Lindenwood, who they had a tie with the night before. That being said, they get the win on Saturday night, 5-1, and we'll get to it. We'll hear from actually Jackson Niedermeyer, who netted 2 goals, and Gibson Homer, who just made some great saves and ended up giving almost went 57 minutes of scoreless hockey. Put it that way. And then there was the last 10 minutes, 7 minutes of the game, which took a very long time for those of you that saw it or that were in attendance, and we'll recap a little bit of that. That it was very, 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 very chippy from Lindenwood and ASU, and there was a bunch of 5-minute majors, a few 10-minute game misconducts, guys bounced. I mean, it literally was like it went back in the time machine there. Yeah, they Doc Brown showed up in the DeLorean and took us all back in the time machine of what even and not maybe so much NHL, but college, ECHL, AHL stuff used to be like. And at the end of the game, it got very, very chippy. Guys got 10-minute majors and bounced, and both on ASU and Lindenwood. So it was very interesting. But the Devils, hey, they get the win. We'll hear from Coach Powers in a little bit on the win. And we'll also hear from Gibson Homer and Jackson Niedermeyer as well. So that is very, very, very huge. And yes, we will hear from them as well. And then they're at home again this weekend. So again, you can get out to Mall Arena. We'll talk about that. Great win Saturday night by Coach Powers and the hockey team for those that, yes, were able to finish the game on the ice. That was again, it was an intense 7 minutes, last 7 minutes of the game, put it that way. But yes, brought back memories of, I don't know, movies like Slapshot, Goon, but yeah, it was, and I laughed because yes, it was bad, but you get a 5-1 victory. I mean, like I said, Gibson Homer was phenomenal between the pipes. And now this team, again, who's number 17 in the country, moves up to 18-6-6 overall, 15-5-4 at home, 3-1-2 away. And they are looking to, again, keep it going now. That is again, 3 games now where they have not lost at home because they fell to Augustana. And then they beat Augustana, and then they did get the shootout win, but it goes down as a tie. So against Lindenwood, and then they beat Lindenwood. Alaska Fairbanks comes to town this Friday and Saturday, 7 p.m. Friday, 5 p.m. Saturday again. They will be Saturday night, like I said, 5 p.m., another kind of matinee-ish start. So you like that. But Alaska Fairbanks is here. And Well, they already beat Alaska Anchorage twice earlier in the season, and they're going to take Anchorage on again up in Alaska next month. But yeah, they have Fairbanks the 9th and 10th, and then get 11 full days off between matches because then they go up to Fairbanks on the 23rd and 24th. And yeah, both games start at 9:07 locally here. So yes, that will be late starts, but not late up there in Alaska. And then they come back to take on Long Island University, and then they close out the regular season up in Anchorage March 8th and 9th. And then the NCAA regionals are March 28th through 31st. So again, man, making that stretch run. So 8 games left. And I mean, they could get to 26 wins. I just don't understand. And again, I have to look at it, but I'll get to the rankings, but I said I was going to get to it. I'll do that next week. Look, man, they can get there. So again, talk more about it. We shall jump into that. But again, very, very stoked for the hockey team and where they're at. Again, forks up. Go Devils with that. And then look, like I said, men's hoops, women's hoops, again, fell to that team down south. It was a back and forth 3 quarters, and the start of the 4th quarter just went in the way of the home team. That home crowd, like I said, over 8,200 on hand for a packed McHale Center, and a doubleheader there yesterday because Stanford on the men's side, Stanford went down. That game was on Fox. That's why it wasn't on Saturday. They decided to put it on Sunday afternoon with obviously no NFL football and the Super Bowl, obviously, except being this week. So, but yeah, Arizona was taking on Stanford, and they got the win 82-71. So avenging their loss at Stanford to kick off Pac-12 play. So Arizona now in control at the top of the Pac-12 for the regular season title. Washington State 7-4. But Arizona is 8-3, and Washington State did beat Arizona. So I take back in control. UCLA beat Oregon. So check this out. These are the standings in the men's conference-wise for the men's in the Pac-12. Arizona's 8-3, and then both the Cougars and the Ducks are 7-4. The Buffaloes and the Utes are 6-5. Utah beat Colorado on Saturday, and they're both 6-5. But Utah did get the 73-68 victory. They don't lose at home. Again, Colorado, a very tough team. Utah says, okay, yeah, we get it. It's going to be a 5-point game, but they won 73-68. They're both 6, along with so the Buffaloes, the Utes, the Cardinal, and the Bruins are all 6-5. And then ASU and Cal are both 5-6. UW is 4-7, and then both the Beavers and the Trojans are 3-8. USC getting a win over Oregon State, 82-54, after losing to Oregon, but they beat Oregon State. So now that's the standings in the Pac-12. Did you look at ASU 5-6? A season split with Stanford, a season split with Cal. And when we look at, again, obviously, yes, the 81-66 loss to Cal that they suffered on Saturday. Again, tough. And it was a bad first half. The second half, again, and that's the part we talk about, complete games, right? Talk about playing complete games, and Coach Hurley's talked about it. You've heard, Jose Perez talk about it, Jemiah Neal talk about it. I've played it on here, and it's one thing that you have to do. Yes, you have to play those complete games, and yeah, if you play in the second half, if you play like you did in the second half, in the first half, they definitely win this game. But they were, again, a little slow closing out the 3-point line. 81-66 the final. And the one thing, because ASU now falls to 500, 11-11 overall. I mean, you think at this point you got to string wins together. And yes, it is one at a time, but in the grand scheme of things, you would like to, I don't know, string about 7 wins in a row. You go 18-11. Then, you're thinking, okay, we got to win a few games in the tournament. But yeah, I mean, this is an ASU team that shot 33.3% from 3, 8 for 24. Overall, shot 38% from the field, 27 for 70, but 57.1%. They only had 7 free throw attempts to Cal's 19. Cal was 16 for 19 from the line. Now that's 84%. That's what a home team should be shooting percentage wise. But yeah, 4 for 7, 57.1%. And yeah, and there was, let's see. There was a team technical foul assessed to the bench for ASU, and it was on a play where Adam Miller needs to work on his balance, as Coach Hurley said. Needs to work on his balance. But yeah, I mean, the technical there, and I mean, they got out. Well, I mean, it was 39-35. They got out rebounded, but you look at points in the paint. ASU won that 28-26. Points off turnovers, ASU won that 11-8. Second chance points, Cal dominated that 23-11. Fast break points, Cal dominated that 19-8. Bench points, ASU dominated 22-5. And yeah. So ASU literally only took 1 free throw in the second half. They were 1 for 1 in the second half. And again, look, okay, I'm going to say this to you guys right now because I've been saying, yes, you have to play above. You have to play with the Pac-12 officials, and they've been crushed for years. And yes, by fans of games, this and that, if games, got out of control or teams getting foul calls. Look, they get picked on for being the worst in a subjective sport because they are. The officials Saturday were atrocious. I'm not going to go on a monologue. I'm not going to go down a deep rabbit hole, but they're just absolutely atrocious. And I'm not just saying because, look, if it's a foul, it's a foul. But it's a foul on both ends. Let's just make it a foul on both ends or not a foul on both ends. Because there is a lot of the same. And look, coaches say it, they get fined, this and that. Oh, the refs have a tough job, yada, 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 yada. Which, again, they do. And basketball, I get it. But there's 3 of them. And for stuff to be missed or for certain stuff to be called, that's an absolute joke. Look, I've seen it even happen to that team down south, yes, where they've gotten calls for them and they've gotten so many calls against them. And I am just absolutely scratching my head throughout the years. So that's how you know this isn't just a fully from Saturday homer take. But Pac-12 officials, on the men's and women's side, are like the most atrocious. And they literally are. They've run away with the title. So it'll be interesting to see where a lot of these officials end up with the end of the Pac-12. Granted, teams aren't going away just with the conference. So we'll see what happens. Obviously, they're in this part of the country. But look, fans are always going to say it. I'm just going to say if it's a foul on one end, it's a foul on both ends. Let's make it that. Let's call it crappy together one way or excellent together one way. But the same on both ends, Pac-12 officials. Not that hard to do. You're supposed to be, you're at that level for a reason. So yeah, everybody has bad days. Okay, you can understand it. But the trash, the amount of Pac-12 calls. I mean, I was watching a Cal, it was a Cal SC game last season. It was Cal SC and then I think UCLA and Oregon. Just 2 different times. And I'm just like, this is why people can't stand Pac-12 officials. And you can say, oh, in the Big 12, this and that, in the Big 10, like they let them get away with that. Either way, if you're gonna make one call and if it sucks, fine. Let it be the same call on both ends, both ways. So I will end it with that little teeny monologue. It wasn't like that on Saturday. But hey, we're gonna step aside when I get back. We're gonna hear from Coach Powers after the awesome hockey victory on Saturday. Again, they got their 18th win. They're 17th in the country. They're right there. And we will talk more hoops. We'll also hear from Natasha Adair and Triana Crisp after that. Again, tough loss. Get into more of that against that team down south yesterday. But man, what a back and forth it was. The chippiness, everything there. Even our girl Jaden Simmons, friend of the program, got a technical foul call again. Jaden Simmons, come on, man. But anyway, we'll step aside. More Pitchfork Lunch coming up here. Welcome back into Pitchfork Lunch. Yes, I am Michael Caracino at Diablo00 on X, artist formerly known as Twitter, as to where you can see the show here on X, live on my IG, michael.caracino.5, or it could be on the Facebook too. But the YouTube channel is live on YouTube. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's at Emmons and Michael V's and Victory C's and Cat 005 at MVC005 on YouTube. Subscribe. You have missed a ton of phenomenal interviews, coaches, players, voices, insiders, and me. Come on. But nonetheless, we roll on, and I'm talking about it before the break. Obviously, the hockey team got a hell of a victory over Lindenwood. It was they had a battle back. They had a battle back, but to tie it up on Friday, it was Lindenwood would score, ASU would answer. Lindenwood would score, ASU answered. So, yes, they get the shootout win, but nonetheless goes down as a tie because there is no shootouts in the college. I mean, they have it, but it doesn't count. They do it, which, again, awesome idea. So, who knows? Maybe they do implement it. We shall see from there. But, yeah, it was just absolutely awesome the way they played, the way Gibson Homer played between the pipes as well. You know, the times he's been out there, he has been pretty money. So, but yeah, let's Well, that could be a problem. But the cool thing is we are going to get to hear from Coach Powell. Again, I just love his intensity. Again, played hockey coaching and the ton of penalty minutes. I mean, I think there was like 143 altogether, guys. And even if you don't know hockey and you're like, God, that sounds like a lot. That is a ton, 143. It was madness. It was definite madness. And Coach Powers, again, you'll appreciate his response. This is him from Saturday. But yeah, after the win on Saturday, and again, he is you listen to him talk, and again, the fact that yes, he's played, yes, he's been with this program a long time, yes, they are winning a lot, and since they've been here, they've had some monumental wins, yes, tough losses, but some solid wins, and we'll see what that can do for them. But they are number 17 right now, just outside the top 16. So we shall see. But without further ado, here is Coach Powers from Saturday night after their win against.
First year thoughts. It was, obviously it got a little chippy there at the end, but just a good team win and balanced scoring. Gibby did a hell of a job for us, making some big saves early and really settled our guys down. And once we settled in, we kind of took over the game, I felt like, and it was just a good team win.
Tonight looks like one of the best, really, did you say good team wins? You got your forwards, your defenseman really even stepped up into the play as well. Looks like almost the best in all year.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the result was good, right? 5-1, and it could have been more, but the result was good. I really thought that we were a little sloppy with the puck, especially in the first period. We were opportunistic and had a couple nice goals, but I didn't like how we were breaking pucks out. We were shaky breaking pucks out, and just a little bit off, right? We weren't connecting like we want to when we were really crisp. But guys, like I said, settled in and found a way to get us win.
Did you feel on the
win? What's the significance of tonight's results?
It was just a win, right? I mean, a win's a win. We got to keep stacking wins if we're gonna have a chance to get into this thing. We're not gonna throw in the towel. Our guys are gonna fight until the very end, and we'll see where we're at after tonight. But we got a hell of a record. We're 18-6-6. It's one of the best records in college hockey, and we just got to keep getting wins.
Coach, special teams tonight, really good PK, got the power play going a little bit, but what do you think of your PK there?
PK was unbelievable. They're unbelievable. They didn't generate really much on their power play, except for the one kind of, they found a seam there in the third and Gibby made a big save. The goal was kind of garbage. Not so sure it should have counted, but whatever. Gibby was good in it, but the kill was really good. It was sharp.
What can you say about Gibby's game? He looked phenomenal.
He was great. He was steady. He was athletic. He competed. Made some really big saves early, and he just made all the saves that he's supposed to make, right? And that's what we want out of our goalies: just make the saves you're supposed to make, and let us take over the game as it goes. And tonight he did that for us, and that's what happened.
What are you saying to your team? I mean, like you said, it got maybe a little too chippy at the end, but if they're trying to get you out of your game, what are you saying to your team on the bench in that spot?
I mean, it got chippy, but I mean, at the end of the day, we're really just defending ourselves, and you never like to see the penalty minutes get that high, especially in the third on either side. I thought that, there were some things that happened that they missed, like one of their kids tomahawk chopped our bench in the head, and that really that set our guys off. And then after that, it was just, you saw it happen.
139 kind of limits. Have you ever been a part of a game like that as a player, as a coach?
Oh yeah. I used to coach club hockey.
Coach Brody, second Charlie Sheen, game misconduct. You won't have him for Friday against.
No, he didn't get a DQ. It's got to be a DQ if he's out, and I don't believe there were any DQs issued tonight. Just games.
Will the penalties be looked at with NCAA at all for the fighting that might result in the suspension at all?
I don't know. We'll find out.
Can there be ever any positives from a physical game like
Yeah,
this?
I think your guy. I mean, what happened on our bench, and what, it is what it is. It's not a reflection of them or the program, but their kid loss is cool, and it's dangerous, and it pissed our guys off. And we thought that they had a dirty hit on Timmy, and that pissed our guys off, and he's our best player and our best defenseman, and then they protect him. It's the way hockey works.
Did it ever kind of galvanize the team?
Yeah, it galvanized us. We got some kids that play hard. Some of the freshmen that'll continue to climb and find roles as they advance their careers here, like Cole Gordon and Cole Helm and Tony Keeley. They're animals, right? They play hard, and they're great teammates, and they know their role.
What did you think of your freshmen play tonight? That fourth line really kind of hit it off.
They're great. They were really good. They gave us energy. They were physical. Helmer had some big hits. Gordo just gives us the energy every night, and Tony, his energy was really good tonight.
Okay, thanks.
And there he is. Yeah, I mean, you heard of it. Like I said, that was a funny answer. It's like, yeah, I coach club hockey. So yes, the penalty minutes in club, and not that they don't take it seriously. They're not just there to fight. It's not a flat out everybody's jumping on the ice brawl. Something ridiculous you see out of a movie. But again, and that was interesting because that is a good question. I mean, the 10-minute game misconducts. He said he didn't. Obviously, right then he said he didn't know. We'll see. I haven't seen anything yet. So if the NCAA is reviewing it, maybe something will come out of that shortly. I do not know. But yeah, I mean, it's again one of those things where and he said defending himself. And again, I'm not saying that, hey, she's not, talking, it's a hockey game. Obviously they get chippy. We understand that. But he said in the end when he goes, we're just, protecting ourselves. And, a lot of this, it escalated more, got to 4-0, got to 5-0. A lot of this, I mean, game was definitely out of reach. So on that, but Jackson Niedermeyer and Gibson Homer. Obviously, Niedermeyer, like I said earlier, had 2 goals in this game, and Gibson Homer, again, just a phenomenal game between the pipes for the Devils. And I must warn you, Jackson Niedermeyer slipped up, so a little bit, but that's all right. We'll go from there. But yeah, here's Niedermeyer and Homer after the win on Saturday, the 5-1 win over Lindenwood.
Gibby, first for you, your game tonight just looked like it really hit another level. How is it coming into a game that you don't see every night in and out?
Yeah, I think it's just like built up over the past 2 years. It's finally nice to get the opportunities to just show my growth, and yeah, it's just all kind of coming together now, so it's fun.
Jackson, for you, on the third goal or fourth goal, Ryan Alexander went down the wall, fed you in front. How is it like having a lineman like him to feed you in front on those golden opportunities?
Yeah, no, I mean, playing with Lucas and Ryan they're both great players, and I think Silly kind of gave RA a push there to get ahead of the D-man, so I mean, that's a good play by Silly too, and then RA finding me and kind of just going to the net. I know he's going to get the puck on my stick, so credit to those two. They set it all up, and I had the easy part, just put it to work.
Does he get an assist for that?
Sil? No, you should.
How satisfying is the game tonight after what you went through last night?
Yeah, I think it's huge, right? I mean, you scrap and claw all day yesterday. Kind of, they score one, we score one, they score one, we score one, and I mean, going through that it's draining for sure. I mean, it's all about how you respond, and we responded well today. And credit to this kid, he kept us in it, and just watching him work every day in practice, he's a hell of a goalie, and we've all faith in him. So he won a second.
Jackson, you're up in the 2 goals. On the first one, you had the puck out ice, 2-on-1, had a chance to get a pass. What were you seeing on the ice that made you want to take a shot?
As soon as I picked it up, I just power yelled shoot. So I had to shoot. I actually completely whiffed on it, and it was on the ice. It was a fucking nice burner. Excuse my language. Yeah, it was a nice burner. It went off the post. I don't know if you see many of those, but we'll take it.
From everything that happened halfway through the third, especially for you, Jimmy. Just how do you stay composed when you know 10 or 15 minutes of real time between like actually playing? Just how do you kind of stay in the game and kind of not let that distract you?
Yeah, it's a little tough, obviously. You never seen a game like that in my whole career, so it's definitely a first for me. But I think the way the team played in front of me and the way I just was feeling all game long, and I felt like nothing could really faze me or go in until the last one.
Good for you. TJ and Luke trying to figure things out. How important is it for you as a team to kind of get your game going, having two great goalies on this team?
Yeah, obviously TJ held the goalie, but as my role on the team is whenever I get put in, I gotta do my job, and so the team has faith in me. So yeah, I've just been doing my role, doing my job, and I'm sure TJ's gonna figure it out eventually. He's an unbelievable goalie, as he's shown for 3/4 of the year.
Jackson, coach said he felt you guys maybe were a little careless with the puck in the first period, but what was the biggest difference for you from the first period to the second period, just offensively?
Yeah, just being a little sloppy, I think, and still getting the 2 goals. That gives you a lot of trust and confidence, and kind of what you're doing is working. And if you kind of just stick with it, the puck will figure itself out. And you mentioned before the game, kind of talking that the puck bounces haven't been going our way, and that comes with work. And yeah, I think that kind of all just clicked today. After the first period, we were a little fumbling it a bit, and yeah, we figured it out for sure. Yeah.
Anything else? All right. Thanks, guys.
And you heard it from them. I mean, except when he gets the puck and he's on that break and coach shoots. So that's it. He can hear him as he's flying down the ice into their offensive zone and taking the shot. But yeah, I mean, 2 goals for Niedermeyer and a ton of saves from Gibson Homer. And I mean, that is a tough part too, because the crazy thing is, I was just about to ask him, you've shut them out, but then all this, these antics start happening. They're reviewing, how, yes, both teams have to deal with it, as you know, but as a goalie, I mean, that's one thing. And, a timeout's one thing, in any sport, review is one thing, but as a goalie, again, you're in a groove, you're in, such a zone. But yeah, there was, a lot of time between, after the review, between plays, and go for a little bit and stop. And then I don't think the goal should have counted either. I mean, look, they reviewed it and said it counted. And if a player, accidentally, they feel dislodges the net, which if the net's dislodged, then it goes over the goal line. It's not a goal. But they reviewed it and felt that it was. Coach Power saw the same review, and you can take from it what you will. But as the officials slowed it down, but still 5-1, you get a dominant win again, and a hell of a game by Gibson Homer. Jackson Niedermeyer, like I said, getting 2 goals. And had a few opportunities maybe at the hat trick. Again, not easy to do, as you know, hockey fans, hockey lovers like me, not the easiest of things to do. So, but look, great win overall, and 180, penalty minutes. That's that's a lot. Or 148, 3 again. It's but 18, 6-6 overall, just so you know that. They are 15, 5-4 at home, 3, 1-2 away. So yeah, big fans of that. And again, I mean, so Niedermeyer had 2 goals, like I told you real quick. Ethan Samaj had a goal, Matthew Copperhead had a goal, and Lucas Sillinger got into the scoring column as well. I mean, it was 2-0 after 1, 4-0 after 2, and then they each scored 1 in the third. Lindenwood, Jake Southgate scored their only goal, which again was very. It was a power play again. All the minutes being doled out and guys in the penalty box, but it was on a power play, and again it was reviewed. So Basically 57 minutes of shutout hockey by Gibson Homer. And after the first period, and Coach Powers talked about it. I mean, after the first period, he thought about it. It seemed like the getting the puck out of their zone and against the way they were handling it, moving it around, finding the open lanes, teeny bit crisper passing. But yeah, I love what I'm seeing from this team. So I hear from the guys right there. And like I said, Fairbanks coming to town this weekend. So come on, get excited, get out to Mullet. It is a phenomenal atmosphere. And this team's winning at a high clip. So they could use 2 more this weekend. Again, it might not be the toughest opponents in the world, but you do your job by beating them. Hey, somebody loses and you can get into the regionals. And who knows, even maybe end up at the Frozen Four, Stranger things have happened, right? Stranger things have happened. But nonetheless, let's go Devils hockey. And they are, again, very exciting and love, again, I mean, just the way the lines are playing, again, dealing with some injuries right now as well, too. So that's very much of a bummer. Yeah, that is very much of a bummer, but inevitably we go from there. So, yeah, but like I said, they just keep on winning, and good things can come. Again, teeny bit behind the 8 ball, but nonetheless, we'll work that out as the weekends get closer. So quick break real quick, and then we will jump back in talking some hoops on the other side. So don't go too far here on Pitchfork Lunch. All right, welcome back to Pitchfork Lunch. Yes, I am Michael Caratino at Diablo00 on X, artist formerly known as the Twitter. Yeah, so it was a interesting weekend in the hoops end. Like I said, on the men's side, they lost to Stanford Thursday, and then lost to Cal 81-66 on Saturday, which again, very, very tough. I mean, you look at it. ASU shot 38% from the field. Cal shot 50% from the game. I mean, it's insane. They were 13-26 in the first half, 14-28 in the second half, 27-54. They were also 11-22 from the 3-point line. Now, they were 7-13 in the first half, 4 of 9. A little bit slower, but still 44%, 44.44%. From the free throw line. So 11 for 22. And then again, 16 for 19. So when they were getting to the free throw line, 84.2%. Yeah, I mean, it's tough to overcome that. Again, I'm not going to go down that again. I will say the Pac-12 officiating crew is absolutely atrocious. And they've done it in other games throughout the years I've seen. But I mean, again, it's not just ASU games. So, but ASU shot 36% from the field. Again, 34% in the first half. That jumped to 41 in the second half. But 38.6, and then in the first half, 30% from 3 for 10. Then they were 35% in the second half, 5 for 14, but 8 for 24. from 3. And let's see, 4 for 7. Again, 3 for 6 in the first half. They only had 1 free throw attempt in the second half. Guys, if you watch basketball, that is a statistical anomaly. That's all I'm going to say. But it is one of those things where we're just talked about, and it's tough to do. But let's we'll hear a little bit from we'll hear everything, but we'll hear a little bit from Coach Hurley after Saturday's game. Again, a matinee game. I was a big fan because last time when they played at 12 o'clock, we saw what that did a little early, but a little bit, an hour later, 1 o'clock, but still a afternoon game. And just again, started a little flat, but nonetheless, we shall hear from Coach Hurley. Let you hear from Coach Hurley. And yep, so here he is, Coach Hurley, after the tough loss against Cal on Saturday.
Didn't play well in the first half at all. It was just both ends of the floor. And, we talked about their big 3. They got 3 guys that really statistically have had a great season at all. We wanted to try and neutralize at least one of those 3 guys and try and maybe, just chop a couple of points off their season averages, being that we're on our home floor, but that didn't happen. So you can't, we had the same amount of field goals as they did. They just shot a better percentage from the field and from 3, 50% from 3. So we really didn't do the job we needed to do defensively. And we really only had like one legitimate chance, when we cut it to 11 and Kamari Lance was in the open court and I guess on his own fell down and wasn't able to get a clean shot at the basket. Other than that, once that didn't go our way, things spiraled again.
When you say disappointing effort, is that literally about how hard guys played, or is that more about just
we were not connected as a team in the first half. It was 5 individuals out there playing. Some guys didn't play well, and but you got to be on the same page. We could not get the group to function as a team in the first half. I'll coach that second half game all year long, or every game the rest of my life. If that's that team in the second half that we have, how we battled. It wasn't perfect. We put them on the free throw line too much. We didn't defend as good as we're capable of. We had okay breakdowns, but it was a team that was, in my opinion, felt like it was all pulling in the same direction, regardless of good things or bad things happening.
Is there a reason Jose Perez did not play?
It was coach's decision. That's all I'm going to say.
How much does that exacerbate the challenges about your depth? And you feel like you're not going to play, or you don't play a guy like that?
It's it was what I had to do for that half to try and see if we could climb back in the game, and we got very close to getting back in it. We just couldn't go, get over the hump. Even, after we were making a push, crowd was getting involved, and we left. We couldn't get the cone on the 3-point line, and we fouled them. So that was giving 4 points back. So, but there was a spirit about the team in the second half that I could relate to, and that I wanted to coach.
You talked about playing more players in this game after the Stanford game, and obviously you did that tonight. Some may have been just because of the blowout loss, but what about that? And I guess in particular Phillips's performance.
Yeah, Sean is, you see him, he's only scratching the surface on what he's going to be if he stays the course and keeps focusing on getting better, just with his youthfulness, his lack of experience, but he's got some high-end ability. His ceiling is super high, so he's just got to keep showing up and working hard and get ready for practice. And there's still, some things that he's got to learn, like on the free throw block out, he didn't have his hands up, and we didn't get a rebound on a free throw. But his impact on what we could do is very good when he's playing as active as he needs to be around the basket.
Is he still on a minutes restriction, and if so, not now?
Go back to the connectivity. Sometimes it's just 5 guys trying hard. They think, hey, my role is to try to take over, be the guy. Other times it's an agenda, selfish issue of all guys having different agendas. What do you think is the first half issue of connectability?
Yeah, hard to put my finger on it. We've been, working hard as a staff. We met for a long time yesterday with the team and just talked about a lot of things, relevant to performance and playing winning basketball. And we didn't do that. We didn't do that at all in the first half. We just were out there playing. There was no urgency, no desperation. It was like, hey, this is another game. Let's go hoop.
So on that note, did you feel the loss to Stanford maybe affected the mindset more than you cared for?
It's always a possibility that anytime you're losing, you're going through a bad stretch like we are right now. That's when all the fingers start coming out and they start pointing in different directions, because no one wants to take responsibility or accountability for everything. But this is my masterpiece. So ultimately it's on me. I had to reconstruct the entire roster virtually, and this is my team. And if everyone doesn't like it, then there's nothing that we could really do about it at this point. We're just I'm focusing on trying to see who's committed on Monday when we hit the practice floor again to get ready for some very difficult games ahead of us, to be totally invested and committed to want to play winning basketball.
On the defensive end, just what did you see that let them shoot such high percentages?
They put a lot of pressure on you because Tyson is really good. I mean, he's leading the conference in scoring. He could shoot the three. He could go off the dribble. Ermac is very good on the low blocks. He's got good touch, good scorer. And Cone is a three-point threat. I mean, they have a lot of guys that could hurt you out there. So it's they've been really good. I mean, they've lost a lot of close games, in the non-conference and early in conference play. But they have the players and they have talent. They're a talented group.
Coach, when you played this team the first time, you guys are in a similar situation after the first half, and you guys battled all the way back. What was the difference between that and this performance where you guys were playing?
They had a response when we we got it to, I think it was 6 or 8, and then they had the 4-point play, and then Kamari drove in and he fell down. I got to work on his footwork. He was really clumsy on that layup. And so at 51-40, that's a situation where we may, be able to score and then set up our press again. And the crowd was getting back in it, but we couldn't get it to single digits again.
Coach, after these 2 losses, what are the points of emphasis going into practice this week?
It's basically going to be just evaluating, what needs to be done, if there are changes that need to be made. The one thing I liked about the second half was getting Sean in the lineup. I don't know whether that'll happen again on Thursday, but it enabled me to kind of split minutes with Brian and Sean and get Zoe back to his more natural position, and so that was a positive to see that.
How about Kamari lands?
Well, you heard it from Coach right there. I mean, he says his masterpiece and put the team together. And yeah, Jose Perez not playing again. I'm saying his praises, and you've all seen it. Sun Devil fans saying his praises a ton. And it's he played 13 minutes, and that was all in the first half. He had 1 point, 1 rebound, 1 assist, and 1 steal. So again, coach said it's a coach's decision. they can all speculate, something was said, he snapped, this, maybe he said something to a teammate, responded, well, I don't know. But again, we'll see what it's like on we'll see what it's like this week because they head to the mountain schools. They do head to the mountain schools again. 11-11 overall. Wrap men's on this. 11-11 overall. Now 8-3 at home. Again, should be 9-2. UCLA, but coulda, shoulda, woulda not. They've lost 4 in a row now. I mean, they have dropped 4 in a row, and you beat SC, then you lose to both Oregon schools, both Bay Area schools, and now you get to go to Colorado on Thursday, and that game's at 6 p.m. here. It'll be on FS1, fans, by the way. I'll remind you a lot before that, as you know. And then Saturday at 6 p.m. on ESPN2, they will go to Utah, who does not lose at home. So they don't come together and get bonded. It could be a very, very ugly, or maybe bond is not the word, but on the same page and bringing the energy. It could be a very ugly trip this weekend, Thursday, Saturday. So we shall see from there. And then they have Arizona on the 17th. Oh, then they have Oregon State will be in Tempe on Wednesday, the 14th. And then on the 17th, Michael Jordan's birthday, by the way, they are in Tucson. That's Saturday, 7:30 p.m., and it's on FS1. So, yeah, that we shall see. That we shall see from there. So, yeah, that's where we are at. But, yeah, they are they are rocking it. So they have a chance to put a few together and see if they can turn this around as they charge down. And then after Arizona, they are home for the Washington schools, the Huskies, and then the Cougs. And then they host that team down south on Wednesday, the 28th, and then March 7th and 9th, they are in LA. So that's where we are with that. But again, uphill battle. And like you said, it's his masterpiece. We got to see these guys play with a little more, from what Coach is saying, obviously play as a group, play together, which you would think. And we'll see the fire that comes out of this because, again, you can't be happy with 4 losses in a row at any level. On that note, as we shift to the women's side real quick, again, it was a tough one, 82-70. No. That's Arizona was able to get the victory over ASU yesterday, and that was kind of a bummer. Stanford got a 20-point blowout victory of UCLA. I mean, they are just a machine. Number 4 team in the country. Yep, they are going to be a number 1 seed. But the conference standings on the women's side go like this. Both Stanford and Colorado are 9-2. Oregon State is 7-3. Utah is 7-4 overall or in conference play. And then we have the Bruins, the Trojans are both 6-4. Fancy that. LA schools. Washington State, the team down south, are 4-6. Washington is 3-7. Cal is 3-8, and both the Ducks and the Devils are 2-8. So that's where they are in Pac-12 standings. But yeah, 63-52. Arizona gets the win. Arizona gets the win, and which was needed. But ASU falls to 10-12 now. And yeah, I mean it's tough because, like I said, a rivalry game, and they went back and forth. I mean, you look at 3 quarters of play, and I mean there were some shots missed. I mean, there was open shots, especially in I mean, not all. Yeah, I mean, throughout the game, but they had opportunities, and Arizona just, yeah, that rim was not friendly. I mean, the free throw line was just, and Coach, you'll hear from Coach, but talks about it. I mean, 7 for 19 from the free throw line. That is, guys, it's 36.8%. And yes, a lot of you are out there saying, hey, I can go run a few laps and be tired and shoot better than 36.8%. So, but yeah, I mean, look, it was 14-13 after one in favor of Arizona, and then Arizona outscored them 17-11 in the second. ASU outscored them 17-14 in the third. So it was 45-41 at the end of three. And then all of a sudden, Arizona goes on an 8-0 run to start the fourth quarter. Or a 9-0 run. It was 54-41, and that kind of did them in. They outscored them 18-11. But yeah, I mean, shots were missed. I mean, Triana Crisp and Jalen Brown had 12 points. Both of them had 4 turnovers, though. But Triana Crisp had 15 points, 5 boards, 2 assists, 1 steal. Jalen Brown had 12 points, 4 boards, 2 assists, and 1 steal. Izzy Sousa had 9 points, but she had 7 boards, 3 assists, 1 block, and 2 steals. And Journey Thompson had 8 points, but she was limited in minutes. I mean, she played 21, but she picked up 2 fouls pretty quick in the first quarter, and that made it tough. But she finished with 8 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 block, and 2 steals. Jaden Simmons finished with 4 points, 4 rebounds, though, 3 assists, also had 2 blocks. Got hit in the eye, got elbowed in the eye, and it hit in the eye. Elbow came up. It was said as a basketball move. Guys, I don't understand that one. Usually when an elbow flies up, but she lost a contact right before halftime, but she was out after the half, doing all right. And she finished the game. But yeah, I mean, just again, tough there. And you look at Jaden Simmons, she picked up a technical foul, as did Courtney Blakely. And they were yapping. They were yapping at each other something after a play, and Jaden got the tee. So he wasn't going to take whatever Courtney was saying. Courtney was going to take whatever Jaden was saying. So they each got technical fouls. Points in the paint, though, that was tough. ASU, Arizona scored them 42-28. Points off turnovers, Arizona won that 21-15. Second chance points, Arizona slight edge 9-8. Fast break points, ASU 9-2 over Arizona. Sorry, 9-2. Wait. Yeah, 9-2. Hold on. Yeah, Arizona won points in the paint 42-28. Points off turnovers 21-15. Second chance points 9-8. Fast break points, yeah, it was 9-2. Bench points 10-4 in favor of Arizona. The score was tied 2 times, had lead change 4 times. But 4 players in double digits for Arizona, and that was that. But yeah, it was again the 7 for 19. I mean, yeah, you might not go 19 for 19, but you figure if you go, 15 for 19, that's 8 more points. So that makes it, 63-60 in favor of Arizona, but like 8 more points. And again, possessions, a little more tense down the stretch. Not that they're not athletes or competitors, but maybe certain shot, you put up a certain shot, you rush a shot, a turnover happens, and that's that. So yeah, that is tough. But again, we're going to wrap the show up hearing from Coach Adair and Triana Crisp after yesterday's game down in Tucson. All right, here they are.
Not the outcome, but it wasn't for like a fight. I saw my team fight today, but there are moments we just talked about value in possessions, right? 21 points off turnovers, and we knew that that was a key area coming in. They're turning opponents over, 19 turnovers a game, and so that was where we had to really be poised. I thought there were moments where they got out in transition, right? And we were making sure we wanted to get back and slow them down in transition. But I just love the grit and toughness of the group. I mean, we were on every 50-50 ball, tie ball game where Izzy's on the floor, Trey's on the floor, the whole team is battling. And there were moments down the stretch where those wide open looks didn't fall. But it wasn't, like, again, it wasn't for lack of fight. It just, there were key things in free throws. We are a better, what were we, 7 for 19? I'm proud that we went 19 times. We said play downhill, we said attack, and it didn't fall. So these are things where we'll go back and we'll show them where we got the looks that we wanted. We'll show them these were the winning plays, right? This right here, this turnover, how we could have avoided it. Right? This activated them in some ways. I thought they sped us up a little bit on offense. We took some quick shots, but this is a group that's growing. This is a group that's battling, and I'm proud that we fought from tip to final buzzer.
What did the refs? Quarter has necessarily gotten better for you guys over the last couple of weeks. What just happened today in that last period?
I think we just activated in some areas. It was a breakaway and then it was an and one, right? We get a wide open look and we didn't get the second chance on that missed shot. So that active transition activates them. And so we just had to do a better job of knocking down those shots, getting second and third opportunities on one shot. But nothing, some of the looks were great looks. I'll live with 99% of the shots that we took. They just didn't fall. So knowing that, we just really emphasized crashing. 3 to the offensive glass, 5 to the defensive glass. So just putting it all together for 40 minutes.
And did the officials, did you get the explanation on the double text there? I know there's kind of a little bit, it gets chippy. It's a rivalry game going back and forth.
It's a rivalry game. Not a lot of explanation on some of the calls. But that's also for us to just stay locked into the game, right? It is an emotional game. It's a rivalry game. And we talked to them about that as well, right? Some of those emotions could be pivotal plays. And that's just growth moments for us. But again, I'll take our fight all day.
But no explanation on Jaden on the double text there?
No, there was not.
I'm not trying to get in trouble.
There was not.
They were picking your pockets a lot today, a lot of steals for them. What were some of the struggles for you guys in ball security, specifically off the dribble?
Well, we were going east and west, right? And we need to go, we told them, let's go north and south. Every time we went downhill, something good happened. Either we got fouled, we got to the free throw line, but we were going east and west. And so anytime you dance with the ball, especially with Quayo in front of you, she leads the conference in steals. So it's not anything the players didn't know. But again, she did a good job taking it from us today.
And Trey, on the floor, what did it look like? I know obviously they're tough down in the post, but they were kind of getting that movement. And did you feel that even with when they were getting out in transition, that just down low on the post, that they were just a lot to handle?
Yeah, they were definitely bigger than us, but I still feel like our team fought, and I feel like we stayed with our scheme, just tried to work as hard as we could down there.
Trey, you've been getting a lot better on the offensive side of the ball, at least in the last couple of weeks. It seems like you're now coming into your own and now becoming one of the big offensive voices on this team. What necessarily just happened between both you and Jalen? It seemed like you guys were at least controlling things in the first half, but kind of with everything in the second half. What was just happening offensively there?
We were just trying to do what we do, try to get downhill and create for others and create for ourselves. I feel like me and Ice go really well together, so I feel like we just tried to do what we could and do what we always do.
And to answer that, like I said, we executed into the shots that we wanted Trey, Ice, Jade, everybody to take. Sometimes it's a good look, it's a great shot, it's a shot that God knows she practices and you guys have seen her take. It didn't fall tonight. So that's where we have to be better at getting the second chance. Offensive rebounds. But as far as shooting and their ability to shoot, like I said, I was really good with some of the shots, the majority of the shots that they took.
What types of challenges did it create for you guys setting up your half-court offense the way that they eliminated both Trey and Jaden with that full-court press?
Well, I think you have a benefit of having Isadora on the floor. She's matchup nightmare because she's a big guard. So she helped relieve some of that pressure. You saw Journey bring it, kind of right over half court, straight to the rim. So we work on all the players and their ball handling. We knew they were going to try to take Jaden out, try to deny Trey and Ice. And so we knew that the bigs were going to have to help us. So Izzy came. I thought she was huge in just being available and being another ball handler. And I think that's where she was open and was able to knock down those shots because they were denying everyone else.
And I know, I mean, you mentioned the shots didn't fall, but do you feel that to this point, I mean, this has been your best game with executing, getting downhill just as consistently as you did?
I think one of the best, right? I think we were aggressive in this game for sure. But that's just kind of in our offense. We run our kind of our 5-out, our 4-out offense, motion offense, chin offense, kind of opening the floor, opening the side of the floor, basically. Thinking just trying to figure out who we want to attack off the dribble. And so the players know that. They know kind of each personnel, their strengths, their weaknesses, and so I just felt like they executed that part beautifully. It was just, again, it was points off turnovers and free throws in this game.
Coach, the road doesn't necessarily get any easier going forward. We have 2 top 15 teams in Southern California you're playing next week. What about them defensively? They're 2 of the best defensive teams in the country. What did you necessarily learn today that you could possibly apply going into next week, just how to fix things, I guess, on the defensive side of the ball?
Well, it doesn't get easier in this league, being that every team in this team, this is the best conference in the country, and so every night you're facing opponents that can defend. I bet on our guards, right? And I'm not letting this game deter any other game. We're going to work on releases. We're going to work on other options. But again, we make our free throws. We limit some of their points in the paint. It's a different game. So again, I look at us as one of a team that can play defense too. And so we're playing it better. So I'll trust the ball in all of our guards' hands, but we will look at other options to break that pressure.
You guys had some post play that was really good that won't necessarily show up on the stat sheet. How do Torre and Thompson and Magligo, how do they all play off each other tonight working against some really good posts out there?
Well, I think our guards do a phenomenal job finding them, and as posts, they do a great job of moving, right? They're always constantly moving. They're playing off of the guards, off penetration. They do kind of weak side, you run to the rim on baseline drives. So all the things that we work on every day. But it's offense moving on a string and it's defense moving on a string. And everyone can have success together. So it's something that we work on, just their movement and not so much standing. And they come to the ball, flash to the ball. They can all hit the 15, 17-footer. Some of them can knock down the 3-ball. So knowing that they're an option, they're always going to be ready for the ball when they receive it.
You're very good.
All right, you heard it right there. Coach Adair, Triana Crisp, again, had a solid game. And yeah, I mean, look, open shots don't fall as part of the game. The turnovers and the free throw shooting, I know that's, you said, you got to show on the tape and work on it as a coach. Anybody that's ever coached, you get a little frustrated. Getting the ball turned over too much and ball gets poked away, taken away. But, ball security. But yeah, I mean, look, they got the shots. They got downhill. Like I said, 45-41 going in 30. Feeling really good about it, considering, like I said, last time when they played up back in December up here, Arizona shot, lights out from 3. I mean, they came in as like a 23% 3-point shooting team and shot over 50%. I mean, that was, yeah, they were warming. They were heat checked on the court here at in Tempe at DFA. So, but yeah, I mean, look, you like the effort. You don't like the turnovers. I mean, again, foul trouble and missing again that many free throws. Like you said, you got to be stoked. You get downhill. You got the foul calls. You get to the line, but you can't be 7 for 19. Coach saying it right there, and she knows that. So, again, got to go down there, and yes, pitchfork lunchers. I will leave you on this. It always, yes, makes me just, itchy to be on that campus. But McHale Center does have a intimacy about it. Having seen quite a few games there. Yes, ASU U of A games, a lot of games there. It does have a feel to it, but oh God, Anyway, we'll just leave it at that, right? But no, look, you love the effort. You got to turn them into wins. Got to hit free throws. Again, the way the offense moved, I will say again, they had opportunities, but U of A, they are tough down low. But I mean, when, like I said, you look at the overall record-wise, I mean, they're 4-6 in conference, they're 12-10 overall. So, you know, it's they got to get on a run too. But yeah, you've 6 ranked teams. Like I said, Stanford's 4th in the country, Colorado 6th, UCLA 7th, USC 15th, Oregon State 18th, and Utah 20th in the country. So yeah, it's like, and they got the LA schools next week in LA, and you're playing, of course, the 7th ranked team in the country in UCLA and the 15th ranked team in the country, USC. So, like Coach said, you go from there on out. It is going to be a challenge, but look, they're up for it. So that's all I can say. You know that they'll be up for it, and very, very again stoked about that. So won a team in overtime, but you know what? It's Monday. It happens. So I'm going to get out of here. Everybody have a great rest of your Monday. Again, you can check me out. Hit me up on at Diablo00 on X, artist formerly known as Twitter. Yes, you all know that. You see the show live on here, the IG, Michael.Caratenulo.5 on Instagram, and then subscribe to the YouTube channel, Pitchfork Lunchers. Spread the news. Share the phenomenal Sun Devil news. You can go to M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Cat 005 on YouTube, at MVC005 on YouTube. Subscribe. Hey, big shout out. I'll get more into it tomorrow, but wrestling had a split last week. They went to Oklahoma State. Again, a very solid program. Had a tough loss to Oklahoma State, but rebounded and got a nice win yesterday over Oregon State. So rebounded. We'll talk more about that tomorrow. But yeah, hope you enjoyed it. Again, if you missed it, you can subscribe to the YouTube channel. All the interviews, the sound, everything is all there. So I'm going to get out of here. You guys have a phenomenal rest of your Monday. See you tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. And yes, you know it. We're never down and or out. But as always, Sun Devil Nation, forks up.
Cherry's 3. Johnny Walker matching up against control. His shot. Bruce score. They score. They tie the game up 2-2. Some drives out for Robbie Ryan. Her 3 right on the money. This is Thea Hansen for 3. Other side of the rim with a pretty reverse. Wow. 5 seconds to go. Find Hawk. Hawk spins. It rolls off. And Arizona State wins it. Edward pulls off. And buries the front. Daniels, this was